Sharing live stream.
Okay, 1 second.
Okay, we're live.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the September 2023 Queens Community Board 2 full board meeting. We are going to start tonight with the Pledge of Allegiance and not have to all come off Zoom to do it. The flag is there. Okay, ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and one republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, so this is our first meeting back after the summer hiatus. So I welcome everybody, and I like to welcome you all to be back in Sunnyside Community Services. We are going to start with comments from elected representatives. And we're going to start with Evelyn Lee from Congresswoman Grace Meng's office. Hey, Evelyn.
Hi, everyone. I'm Evelyn Lee from Congresswoman Grace Meng's office. I mostly do events and the casework in my office. So you have anything constituent services related, definitely reach out to me. And for anything else, definitely reach out to our office as well. I basically just want to say hi because for me, this is my first in-person meeting after redistricting. So it's very exciting to see you all in person. I don't have that much announcement, but we are going to have another round of passport events going on right now after last spring, because we know the winter season is coming. Everybody should gear up and everybody should apply early. So now our next one, the first one is going to be in Flushing. This on September 24th. It's a Sunday and from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'm going to send out a flyer very soon. And we also have a bunch of other events going on. So stay tuned. Thank you.
Thank you, Evelyn. Next is Mafuzal from Kristen Gonzalez. Hello. I knew you were here.
Hi, I'm also going to echo what Evelyn just said. First time seeing you guys in person. Great to be here. If you guys have any issues and concerns, feel free to come up to me and we'll try to address them. Not too many updates on our end as well. We had a series of backpack giveaway events for return of school. This was all last week. We are doing a couple of things with asylum seekers. So if you guys want to assist with that, feel free to reach out to our office. And we'll also be doing a couple of things with EPD skimming, which is an issue. So we'll be doing a series of events in each of the boroughs. We're a 3-borough district. Yeah, that's about it from our end. So if you have any issues, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be at the back end.
I do have a question on the things we can do for asylum seekers. Can you share that with the office?
Yeah. So we'll be compiling resources. There's going to be a clothing giveaway soon. So we will be compiling clothing. Our office is out next to Grand Central in Manhattan, 42nd and 43rd on 2nd Avenue. So we'll be doing a call for clothing when we're prepared for that. We will be having set up shop for signing folks up for IDNYC and several other resources that we're going to be working with HRA to sign folks up for. So
thank you.
Thank you. My name, Mafuzal. I'm a community liaison for State Senator Kristen Gonzalez.
Thank you. Thank you. And I think maybe we can talk about organizing together for some help for some of the asylum seekers. Okay, thank you. Next up is Victoria O'Leary from Assembly Member Stephen Raga's office. Hey.
Hi, good evening, everyone. It's very great to see you all here tonight. I hope you've all had a healthy and safe summer. Unfortunately, the member couldn't join us tonight, but we do have some updates to share with you all. This summer, we had a really busy summer with a number of events, including our first Pride celebration, our first Independence Day celebration. We presented our resolution honoring Ecuadorian Independence Day to the Ecuadorian consulate. We hosted legal clinics, workshops, and most recently, a mammogram mobile scan. We have a number of upcoming events for the month of September upcoming. So we have on September 9th, our first health fair, which will be hosted from 12 to 3 p.m. at the Woodside Ave Open Streets. We'll have available free health screenings, as well as some of our partners will be tabling to talk about community health programming that they offer. The following weekend, on Saturday, September 16th, we will be hosting a paper shredding truck in collaboration with Assemblymember Cruz's office, and the truck will be located at Elmhurst Hospital. Each individual can bring up to 5 boxes, no batteries, no electronics, just the paper. On Tuesday, September 19th, we will be hosting the Veterans Advocacy Project at our district office from 1 to 2 p.m. to talk about programming available for veterans specifically related to VA benefits and housing. And then on Sunday, September 24th, we will be hosting our Hispanic Heritage Month celebration from 1 to 2 p.m. at the outside of the World's Borough Bookstore on 73rd Street and 34th Ave, right off of the 34th Ave Open Street. And then lastly, on Tuesday, September 26th, Queens Legal Services will be providing a session on SNAP benefits at our district office from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We also have upcoming mobile office hours at the Woodside Library on Skillman, and we'll be there from 2 to 4 p.m. And we host recurring monthly mobile office hours every second Wednesday of the month at the Woodside Library. To stay up to date with any of our upcoming events or important information, we ask that you call our office or sign up online to join our contact list, and we will email you and call you whenever we're hosting upcoming events.
Thank you. I'm just going to ask for when speakers come up to announce, even though I will say it as well, to announce their name and who they work for again, so everybody is clear. So next up, we have from Assemblymember Ardia's office. I have 2 names here, so I don't know if both Melissa and Natalie are speaking or just one person. Okay.
Hello, my name's Melissa. I represent Assemblymember Juan Ardilla. Yesterday, we hosted our first New Women New Yorkers event in front of our district office located. Hi, can you hear me better now? Perfect. Do you want me to start from the beginning? Okay. Perfect. Sorry about that. Yesterday, we started our first New Women New Yorkers event in front of our district office. It's an organization that helps out with women who are trying to get into the tech field. And also in response to the growing migrant crisis, the Assembly member signed on to a letter addressed to the President Biden, calling on the president to declare a state of emergency to help expedite work authorization and release federal resources to our city and state. In addition to this, earlier today, the member submitted a request to co-sponsor 2 new bills in the Assembly to help bring immediate relief to our city. We are also hosting every Thursday for the rest of September, a clothing event for the immigrants who are new to our district. So if you guys want to help volunteer, just show up and say hi. We are located in 4510 Skillman Avenue. If you guys have any constituent service concerns, we are available from Monday to Thursday, 10 to 6, Fridays 10 to 2. So please reach out. Thank you. Have a great day.
Okay, thank you. Next we have Claire Collins from the Borough President's Office.
Hi, sorry about that. It was a quick technical difficulty, but we're good. My name is Claire Collins. I'm a community board liaison at the office of Queensborough President Donovan Richards. So I'm going to start with the summer recap. So this summer, our office was extremely event heavy. During the last week of August, we wrapped up our third series of Borough Hall on Your Block. Borough Hall on Your Block is a week-long initiative launched by the borough president back in August of 2022. Our goal is to bring programs and services to each part of the borough. So far, we have brought this initiative to community boards 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, and 13. As some of you may know, Borough Hall on Your Block was in community boards 1 and 2 at the end of February. Our most recent one in community boards 3 and 4 included a self-defense workshop for seniors, a job fair, an immigrant resource fair, a youth summit, a nonprofit resource fair, a town hall, a jamboree bike giveaway, and much more. Our office looks forward to continuing this initiative and bring it to each community board's neighborhoods. For upcoming events, we have a Queens Climate Expo on Wednesday, September 20th from 3 to 7 p.m. This is going to be held at the Helen Marshall Cultural Center at Queensborough Hall, which is at 12055 Queens Boulevard in Kew Gardens. Do you want the funding report too, or? I don't think so. Okay. So that's all the upcoming events for right now. You can reach out to me if you have any questions about the BP's office, and I'm going to be here for the rest of the meetings this year. So really excited.
Welcome. Thank you. Welcome. I do want to just note that the Queens DA's office is here too. They're not going to speak tonight, but we do. You are? Oh, okay. Never mind. Oh, cool.
All right. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Good? Everyone good? Okay. So my name is Javier Figueroa. I represent the Queens District Attorney Melinda Katz. Over the past 2 months, this summer, we also have been very event heavy, as the rep from the BP said. We hosted a bunch of backpack giveaways, a bunch of handouts, but an announcement from our office that I want to share. The district attorney has, in certain precincts, started a trespass affidavit program. Now, we neighbor the 114, so if you're familiar, if you're not familiar, I can speak on it real quick. Basically, what it is people that come into businesses and cause like a problem or a disturbance, this person is noticed a trespassing affidavit, and they're noticed that if they come back, repeat offenders, it could result in, arrest or something like that. But we're trying to avoid an overall arrest and try to give them a second chance to say, hey, we know you're doing this, but the business owner is saying, we're not going to call the police, but if you come back, it will escalate. So that trespass affidavit program was originally in Jamaica, and then it went to Flushing, but now the district attorney has launched it borough-wide. So any businesses wanting to opt in or any questions you may have about it, feel free to contact me or reach me. I'll be in the back over there, and I'll be here for the rest of the meeting. That's it.
Thank you. And I don't know if you mentioned this, but there's also newsletters from the district attorney up here at the table, if anybody wants one. And then we actually have our council member here today. So council member Julie Wan is going to join us. It's great to see you in person, although probably of everyone in this room, I've seen you in person the most this summer.
Good evening. It's so good to see you all after a long summer. Welcome back, everyone, from your break, and it's good to see you all in person as well. I know some of you have seen so good to see you. If I haven't already met you, my name is Julie Wan. I'm the current council member representing Sunnyside, Woodside, Long Island City, and Astoria. It has been a very busy summer, so I'm going to give you some quick updates. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to our community partners. Community Board 2, Long Island City Partnership is here. And we also had Irish Community Center, Sunnyside Community Services, and so many more help us with the backpack drive. This year in particular was really, really important because of the influx of migrants and asylum seekers that we have in our district, especially the families. We want to make sure that every single child was going back to school with a full new backpack full of school supplies so that they do not have to worry about feeling any less than any other child in their school. So thanks to your help, we've been able to donate 1,200 backpacks throughout the district to our NYCHAs, Queensbridge houses, Ravenswood houses, Woodside houses, as well as the shelters to make sure that all of our students were fully equipped. And we also went to all of our community schools to make sure that the schools had 20 to 50 backpacks on hand so that if any other student comes to the school without one or without school supplies, that they had one ready to give them. So thank you so much for your partnership in that. We are so grateful for your generosity. Over the summer, we have had a very busy summer. The number one thing that we want to make sure is rat mitigation in our district. We have heard from you directly, and I have seen it myself. The size of the rats and the amount of rats in this district is unbelievable. So we have the rat czar come to our district, tour all of our hotspots, and we've been working with them regularly with their team. In certain areas, we made sure that there are pesticides, bait stations, carbon dioxide treatments, baiting the rat burrows and placing rat traps. And we made sure that we're counting the data. So we saw that in, for example, for Queensbridge houses, there were 125 rat burrows, we're down to 75. Our goal is to get down to 35. And we'll continue to keep track of them to make sure that we're seeing a decrease in the rat population in our district. Next, we also have been working closely with DEP. We were just here even a year ago with the Department of Environmental Protections on the flooding issues that we have in this district. So we're continuing to work with them and our federal partners to make sure that we are regularly cleaning catch basins and implementing new rain gardens in the neighborhood and discussing capital improvements. We were able to get a whole new sewage mains right next to Food Bazaar, where we've had pervasive flooding up to our knees, as well as Queensbridge main water break that has happened multiple years now. And we're now focused on making sure that in Sunnyside Gardens, especially in Sunnyside South, where we have these private homes that continue to have flooding, to figure out and inspect the sewage mains to make sure that we're understanding what the size of it needs to be, as well as Roosevelt Avenue, where a lot of these small businesses have been flooding pervasively over the years. We are continuing to partner with CUNY Law. I'm happy to partner with them and sponsor them. And instead of having bi-weekly in-house housing lawyer to provide legal services, it will be every single week now on Wednesdays. If you or anyone you know who is facing eviction or is having any sort of legal issues with housing, please feel free to reach out to my office to have an appointment with our housing lawyer. We have a lot of events coming up. Some of the few that we were really happy to host this year for the first time in this district was movie nights for the families and friends in our district, all over the district, in every single park that we possibly can have. On September 15th, we have Spider-Man No Way Home at Ravenswood Playground. We also have September 22nd at Windmiller. We're going to be screening Minions. And on September 24th, we'll have Turning Red at Queensbridge Park. And we also have Aladdin, thanks to Hunters Point Park Conservancy. I know Rob Bosch is here at Hunters Point Gantry Park this week as well. So it's free. It's for you to enjoy the great outdoors while the summer is still here to enjoy with your family and friends. So please come and join us. And at our events, we usually have other partners who give out balloons or face painting for children to make it even more special. You just have to bring your own seating, a blanket or a lawn chair, whatever it is that you prefer, so that you can sit comfortably. For legislation, if you have specific legislation that you'd want me to sponsor or sign on to or pass that you really want to care about, please reach out to our office. My legislative director was here just now. His name is Isaac Blazenstein. Feel free to call us if you have any concerns, and follow us on social media to stay up to date on all important legislation happening. Participatory budgeting is about to start again. We thank you. There were many of you who participated last year. Participatory budgeting allows you to allocate $1 million to a capital project, which is infrastructure like this building that we're sitting in, or a park, or a street, or a school, physical spaces to have improvements. And we want to hear from you directly on how you want it spent. And you can also be a direct partner with us by being a budget delegate. to help us come up with ideas as well as sort through them. So feel free to reach out to my office if you would like to be a partner in that. And overall, our budget analysis for this fiscal year 24, is live on our website. This year, we were able to receive $48,000,000, 360,770 so far. And the breakdown of that for its spending in capital expense is all online. So feel free to reach out with any questions about that as well. So we would love to hear from you. And I think that's it for my updates. Any questions? Yes. So NYPD hosts actually in this building monthly build the block meetings, and you're always welcome to come to them. If you have specific cases that you would like me to address, we can talk about it offline. My team member attends every single one of them if I physically cannot attend, and we keep very closely in contact with both the 108 and 114th. So if there's something specific that you would like me to address, I can do that. Do you have a specific case that you would like me to address? So I think it's great that you're here because we have our state partners, we have our district attorneys representative right here, as well as the borough president. If you want to talk about sex work is decriminalized in New York State. Therefore, they're not doing anything criminal or illegal. So if you would like to talk about the law itself, our state representatives are here and you could talk to them about that law of what you see unfit. And if there's something specific that's happening at the sex workers locations, and we could talk to the district attorney's office to make sure that there's an investigation into that. For the marijuana weed shops, for that is a state law that has passed and is regulated by the state. Our state partners are here that you could address with them to talk to them about the marijuana that is being sold. I believe in CB1, Community Board 1 is going to have a meeting coming up on Monday, an executive board meeting for the ones that are licensed to sell marijuana in Astoria in our district, and that is the only one. The sheriff's office is also addressing all of the reports that have been made, but again, you have to make sure that you're going to the right partners of whoever has that jurisdiction to have that addressed. But I'm not saying that your concerns aren't real. And for delivery workers, I'm not sure who you are referring to because we can't blanket anyone. And again, marijuana use is decriminalized, so they are not doing anything illegal in this state.
So,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and I think you can take this offline with the council member, but the questions at the community board meeting are only for board members. So we need to just, yeah, so sorry.
Okay, so do any of the board members have questions? Yes, Mary. So we just passed zero waste laws. So we right now are going to be, it's going to be mandatory that we start composting, recycling, as well as having trash that has the lid. So we're going to be working with CSNY as well as Law and City Partnership and other developers and real estate owners to make sure that every single building is compliant in our district. So we'll keep you posted. So because they are such great partners, they've also allowed us to partner with organizations like Big Reuse on education for both tenants, like residents in a lot of luxury high rises, as well as the landlords themselves, to answer a lot of the questions that they may have on the new laws that have passed for the way that we manage our sanitation. Yes, those two. We're working with the ports. No, Long Island City Partnership isn't doing any enforcement work or the work itself, but they just have been great partners to us so that we can use their networks to make sure that we're using nonprofits and other DSNY outreach folks to make sure that this message is getting disseminated with the changes in the law. Yeah. No, in Sunnyside and Woodside, we work with other partners, but I was, because I know that you live in Long Island City, that's why I was referring to them. Sunnyside Shines is the bid in Sunnyside, and Woodside, we work with Woodside on the Move, as well as Rusty Wheelbarrow and other sites that help with the education. Yeah, thank you. And feel free to reach out if you want more information. Are there any other board members who have questions? Okay. I think, what's his last person's? I think his name is Angelo.
You're not a board member. This is,
I'll talk.
so Julie's gonna speak with you privately, separately. This is a community board. Yeah. So Julie will talk with you directly.
Yeah.
We just need to move the meeting along. Sorry, we have a not that long agenda, but we have an agenda.
Is it, yeah, Angelo? I just don't want to mispronounce it.
I can't see. I
The
don't,
one right there?
oh,
Yes.
Yes.
Kelly. Mhm. Mhm.
And then secondly, they never fall in the same. That's
Mhm.
in that area specifically, we're talking about it's a parking lot, on the new parking lot, and then also.
Okay, if you want to follow up in my office independently, then they can give you the update from FDNY because the FDNY investigations are usually not public. So we can get that information for you. And for air quality, we would have to talk to DEP, but there isn't much that they can do to improve air quality other than making sure that we're all doing our part in climate justice and making sure that we're decreasing emissions and other pollutants in the area and the whole country. Yeah, thank you. Okay, I don't believe there's any other questions from the board, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so, okay, thank you.
So just a refresher, because we haven't been in person for a year. Community board members can ask electeds questions, but it's not a town hall. It's not open to everybody. But generally our elected leaders, when they come, will stick around and talk to you one-on-one. Yes. Right up here? Yep. Yep. And we're going to move to general public comment. We're going to start with some of the organizations that are here. Judy from Sunnyside Community Services.
Welcome home, everyone. We're so happy to see you in person, as other people have expressed. So I'm Judy Zangwell, Executive Director of Sunnyside Community Services, and coming attractions involving Sunnyside Community Services. We are providing the flu vaccine here, September 26th, from 10 to 5. From 10 to 12, our seniors, it will be open to our seniors who participate in our Center for Older Adults. But after that, it's open to the public, and there is a QR code because a pharmacy is providing this and they want to know an estimate of how many people will be coming. So if you're interested, and you can just take a flyer and then respond. On September 30th, we're having a free concert at 2 p.m. And it's going to be with Yui Kitamura, who is a classical composer. And with Mark Wade, who many of you may have been here before, who's terrific. He has been here before providing a free concert. And finally, the much awaited Sunnyside race walk, Sunnyside Post Mile Run Walk, And that's going to be October 28th. The proceeds go to Sunnyside Community Services, which we're very grateful for. And we will be sending out lots of information about that. We'll share it with the community board. We'll put it on our website. Is there a question? Where is it? It's right here. Yes, 2:00. Any other questions? Sheila.
From the board.
Oh.
From the board.
Sheila. Good to see you. It's off. It's free. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Judy. Next, we have Michael Borderon from Workforce. No, there you go.
Good evening. My name is Michael Borderon. I'm with Workforce. I'm with Workforce One. Excuse me, Michael Borderon. I'm with Workforce One. I'm not sure if everybody's familiar. We're part of New York City's small business services. We work in the community to help individuals who are looking for employment, helping with jobs, job seeking, career counseling, things of that nature. Just kind of wanted to come out and introduce myself. I've heard previously that we haven't been making it out to meetings and that kind of nature. So I wanted to be able to come out, introduce us as a resource to anyone that you may know that may be looking for a job. We also work with companies who are looking for employees. All of our services are free of charge. So it's no cost for anything. And just wanted, like I said, just wanted to introduce us as a resource to the community. Okay, thank you. Hi. Right. For an individual, there are no qualifications. You just have to register with us. Yeah, you have to be documented. You definitely have to be documented to be able to work, to do it. Unfortunately, we are trying to work with the city for the undocumented, but right now you have to be documented. You have to have a social security number. Thank you. That's normally during the summer. We do provide seasonal working, like internships. Yes, it's usually about 25 hours, but it's still paid. It's still a paid internship. Like high schools. Yeah, we have a career services department that reaches out to guidance counselors in high schools and in colleges to kind of spread the word, of our services so we can bring in more students. I know this summer we had close to 13 students working on an office, but it was a mixture of high school students, mostly seniors, and college students who are just looking for experience, looking for something. Hi. Sure. You get in contact with someone like me. We kind of go over whatever opportunity, like position that you're looking for, job description, pay, that kind of thing, how many hours. And we'll take care of everything from there in terms of the advertising, i.e. Indeed. We'll do everything for you at no charge. No, Workforce One. Yeah. Yeah, we're online. We're part of the New York City Small Business Services. Sure. Okay, yeah. We do not a lot. I'll be blunt, not a lot of that. We do most of our positions are for 30 hours or more, but we do come across short-term When I say short term, I would say a minimum of 3 months, that kind of thing. We don't, most of the employers, businesses that come to us are looking for full-time employees on a long-term basis. But we do come across, especially this time of year, with certain businesses that are like trying to gear up for Thanksgiving, Christmas. So we do get some seasonal work. Sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to suggest that maybe we connect with small business.
Yeah, I would love that. I would love that. Yes. No, the workforce, workforce, the number one. Yeah. Workforce, if you look it up, you'll see it's workforce.org. Okay. Yeah. Workforce1.org. Yes, number one. Okay. No problem. I appreciate that. Thank you. I think I think Long Island City Partnership has some of our information also. I think we do. I think at one time we were partnering with you guys, but we haven't been that active. I'll admit, we haven't been that active. So we're trying to reach out more on a more active basis, more face to face than just emails and phone calls. If there are any more questions, be more than happy, but thank you for having me this evening. And you guys have a great meeting.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Okay, thank you. Next we have Rob Bash from Hunters Point Parks Conservatory.
Hey, everyone. I'm Rob Bash. I'm president of the Hunters Point Parks Conservancy, and I'm here to advocate for more green space in Hunters Point development. Now, I know they canceled their presentation today, but I'm here, so I just want to talk about it quickly and get everyone's support. So besides being president of the Conservancy, I also live in the Powerhouse building for the last 14 years, which is on 51st and 2nd, basically surrounded by the whole HPD development. And right now we have two more lots D and E, that are going to be developed. I know HPD only wanted to present on lot E tonight, which doesn't make sense, but basically we have two empty lots, huge lots surrounded by towers everywhere. And we really need one of those lots to be a multi-sports athletic field. We are so short of the green space and parks land that we need in our area. And I don't want to get too wonky, but in 2022 in April, City Council came out with a parks equity map, which basically showed zip code 11101, and the whole Hunters Point area was down at the bottom half of the required green space and open spaces. There's also a New York City goal of 2.5 acres per 1,000 people. And that was done as of 2014. In 2014, Long Island City was only at 1.5, and that was before the census of 2020, where we have 20,000 people. Basically, we're way below where we need to be. So, Hunters Point Development, they want to do this, and we understand there's a great shortage of housing, but I really feel Hunters Point South and certainly the Court Square area all around city has done our share to address that issue. And we don't have the proper spaces for our kids. There are 3 schools in Hunters Point South right now. Well, the third one is going to be built hopefully soon. I would also propose that the sports field, the schools would be able to use during the day to get proper athletic experiences. Running out of time, but anyway, I know they'll be here next week, HPD, and I want to thank Lisa and CB2. They did write a letter last year to support this plan. We really need more green spaces to have a healthy, thriving community. We need to do this, and I'm going to run, but I got one quickie to change the subject quickly. I just want to let everyone know Hunters Point is going to be opening up the Queens Landing Boathouse and Environmental Center. We finally signed all papers. It's going to be at the end of 2nd Street and 57th Street. We're working with the Newtown Creek Alliance folks. There's going to be a ton of environmental education. There's going to be free boating. Mostly we'll go on next year. So we're really excited about it. It's been a 4-year project. So watching the paper, you'll see it against Queens Landing Boathouse and Environmental Center. And thank you for your time.
Yep.
I wasn't sure if I was cut off, but who's got a question? Sheila. Oh, hey, Sheila. Thank you. Honestly, I don't have a specific idea. I mean, ideally, something like what they've done on the state side, this is what they redid the whole sports field there. I'm not an urban planner. I'm not sure how exactly get it done. I've been talking to Lisa. We'd like to do an open thing, but I'd want some kind, there's plenty of room there, a field, multi-sports field, potentially bathrooms. Of course, I could ask for the world, and I know the community wants a swimming pool. Yeah, but I mean, I've got to work with you and other community leaders to figure out how to get this done because the city has 100 billion plus budget and we've got its city states. We're not taking any land from a developer. So I would think there's some way to get this done because we want a healthy community and building more towers. As much as we need more housing, I don't want to disregard that. But, we have to have a healthy community too. We've built a lot already. Yes. Honestly, I've not really pursued it that much. I know, Lisa, you guys sent a letter. I don't know if you got a response, anything. But...
The process, how you prepare, they're only going to move the RFP for one site, one of the two sites, not both, which really
It doesn't make sense.
makes sense. And we asked them that at the call, and I would have to say, I didn't feel that we got a full response. So I think there will be more of them.
Yeah, I'm not an expert on this at all, and hopefully get all your support and help to get this done. But yeah, both sites should be done. I assume if you get a developer who could get both sites, maybe give one for athletic field or something. There's ways to get it done, I guess. I'm not the expert, but you guys are, so hopefully we can figure it all out. Okay, anything else?
Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you so much. Thank you. So I think we're going to be talking about this topic for a few meetings and in some other public meetings that hopefully that we will help coordinate. Okay, lastly on our from organizations is William Jordan from Woodside on the Move.
All right, good evening, community board. Members of the board, chairperson, thank you so much. Councilmember Julie Wan, she's gone. All right, well, here we are. I'm gonna respect the time. I know folks want to hit quorum and hit the agenda items. So I just want to speak a little bit about some of the things that we've been doing over at Woodside on the Move through the support of our council member and some of the discretionary funding that we've received. We've been able to provide services, including our summer festival, which included an amazing stage with legitimate performers that were up from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's the first time in the history of Woodside on the Move that we managed to do this. We're looking to do this again September 23rd for our next following upcoming fall festival. One of the things I do want to mention tonight as an announcement is that we are extremely proud to commence one of our new programs, which we've been able to procure through SPS, which is essentially a commercial district needs assessment program. If you look around Woodside, it's extremely diverse. BIPOC-led small business owners, and yet most of these folks don't have the support that they need, nor do they have access to some of our local city agencies and the resources that they need. So what we're looking to do is we're going to start commencing a needs assessment to figure out exactly what the needs are and to figure out how we can support our local small business owners. Because if y'all haven't been looking around, Woodside is becoming a bit stagnant. Our small businesses are leaving Woodside. A lot of them just can't keep up. And so we really want to help support these local businesses to stay in Woodside. And essentially, we're here to continue to provide services to the community. We are recently wrapping up, we actually wrapped up our summarizing program where we supported over 1,200 young scholars through our summer camp programs over at PS 11, PS 398, PS 361, Academy City Charter, and that is my time. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm just going to ask Samantha, who was just up here from Representative Velasquez's office. Do you want to say a very short? Okay, sorry, we're a lot of speakers tonight. So 2 minutes. Thank you. Thank you. 30 seconds.
Hello, everyone. My name is Samantha Johnson. I am the community liaison for Congresswoman Nydia Velasquez. I want to say welcome back to your wonderful sessions, and thank you so much for just having me. I'm sorry for my tardiness. I was just at a meeting with the Federal Railroad Association talking about a lot of the things that you guys have been mentioning. So we are working on that, and I have some literature in regards to that. So with the Congresswoman, we are aware about the migrant shelters. We're also very much aware of the smoke shops. So we just want to let you all know that we're actively trying to figure out resolution. With the migrant shelters, we're really trying to find out how we can push money for the federal government to better support New York City as a whole. The Congresswoman has been doing a lot of hearings and speaking with individuals about the shelters and the conditions, but also how do we get individuals with the working papers temporarily so that they can be able to be active in their community and also be able to do what they need to do as far as getting immigration processes done, which is on a federal level. I will be in the back. If there's any questions you all may have for me or for the Congresswoman, I will leave my cards as well as some literature. So I do want to be respectful for time, but thank you all for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Samantha. Okay, we're going to move to the public comment. So I just will remind everyone that you have 2 minutes to speak, and Maury has a nifty timer, the mega timer. The first person to speak is Laura Rothrock. Forgive me if I pronounce that wrong. Laura? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh. Sorry, a little rusty. Actually, I've never done this. I've never been chair in person before, so. I do.
Hi, everybody. I'm Laura Rothrock. I'm the president of the Long Island City Partnership. And I think the last time I came to a full board meeting, it was on Zoom last year when I had just started. So I just celebrated 1 year at the Long Island City Partnership. So I wanted to come and say hello. And also let you know, we are currently working, and we have many initiatives that we work on at the partnership. And one of them is our Business Improvement District, which is a public-private partnership where property owners pay an additional assessment. And in return, we provide services such as sanitation, beautification, trash cans, and we have a 7-person sanitation team that you may have seen out on the street. We're looking to expand the bid, and we've met with the land use committee many times. As part of that process, we have to go through planning, outreach, and then a legislative process. We're in the outreach phase right now, so we'll be coming to the community board for a full presentation. But in the meantime, if anyone has questions, lots of details about our site, or about the expansion are on our site. It's licqns.com/bid expansion. We'd be happy to also answer any questions that you have. Yeah, again, I just wanted to introduce myself and looking forward to working with all of you. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Laura. Thank you. And next we have Elon Sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. From Transitional Services for New York.
It's okay, thanks. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me here. So my name is Ilan Okechukwu. I'm from Transitional Services for New York. It's TSINY for short. And we are located in Jamaica. So, and we're on Sutphin Boulevard. We're a nonprofit organization. I'm actually the assistant program director for two programs. And that is BHCC and MOP. BHCC being the Behavioral Health Care Coordination Program, where we have case managers that work with people that have chronic medical or mental health illnesses. And MOP stands for the Mobile Outreach Program. So that program actually connects people with in the community that either have a mental illness or suspect they may have a mental illness, and they want to be connected to a therapist or a psychiatrist. And so we also do have a clinic in our the organization, in the agency. There's a bunch of great therapists and nurse practitioners there to support the our members. And you know, all of our members, they are adults. We take Medicaid, although we do have a non-Medicaid program. And so right now we're looking actually for, you know, if you know anybody that may be interested in the MOP program, the one where we connect, you know, folks to therapists, psychiatrists, and also kind of do like a wrap program for them, like a recovery action plan with them. If you're interested in that, please feel free to, oh, am I getting beeped? Please feel free to reach out to me. I'm sitting right over there if you want to connect with me. But thank you so much.
Thank you. And maybe we can get your information so we can have it as the board. So if we can connect people, because sometimes board members get, you know people. Okay, next up is Pat Dorfman.
Hello, I'll be very brief, I hope to. My name is Pat Dorfman. I'm with the Sunnyside Chamber and have been a reporter here and come to these meetings for about 30 years. And I just want to say something to you because I think the new board members are very humane people and want what they want and are working for it. I just want to say that in each era, the Real Estate Board of New York is very powerful. And the new way they're accomplishing their goals is through business improvement districts and through needs assessments. So things that sound like a wonderful thing sometimes it's the end of our low-rise buildings, our big sky, and our small town community. So I tend to be sort of obstreperous about this. I won't be tonight. I just want to welcome you and ask you to be open to other points of view rather than the ones you hear from those in power. It just changes every 12 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Manny Gomez.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure that we have our community board two back live. You know, I think that's something that we all need. And I know a lot of our folks, you know, that are seniors cannot be able to make it or cannot have a chance to look at, you know, online. So just wanted to once again, congratulations. We want to keep, we hope that the live are going to stay so good, all right? Because we need that the community gets involved, and sometimes by not having it live, they're not able to come in and basically talk about what all the challenges that they're having. So once again, thank you all so much for having it live.
Thank you. Dorothy Moorhead?
Good evening, everyone. It's good to see you all here. I was a member of the community board and chaired the environmental committee for 28 years. So that, thank you. What I have to talk about today is the closing of 39th Avenue between 45th and 46th Street and how it affects our community. It means that anybody that wants to go east, has to go on Barnett Avenue to 48th Street and then keep going all the way to 43rd Avenue to go east. If you want to go west, you have to go around the block and, well, from 45th Street, you can go west. But all of the sounds that are scary in New York, most of them are the fire engines. But worse than a fire engine is when you hear that fire engine slow down and it's in front of your neighbor's house or your house. I've heard that 3 times since that street was closed, and the fire engine has to work its way around a maze to get and go the wrong way to get to 46th Street. It's 1 block, but they have to go 6 blocks or slowly work their way around this obstacle. A ladder truck cannot make the turn. The cars are too far out in the middle of the road. We have what they call floating parking spaces on the block between 47th and 45th Street. So the cars are not up against the curb. That's where the bike lane is, which is very much underutilized, by the way. I barely see 10 bikes a day, and I'm right next to it, or the first house on 46th Street. The other issue, having 1 lane of through traffic in front of Sunnyside Towers means. Okay, could someone ask me a question? Anybody on the board ask me a question? Yes.
Are you aware that the city said that they were going to come back and review the plans that they put in place?
That's what I've heard. And can I?
They haven't come back.
No, they have not come back. And the other issues is that in front of Sunnyside Towers, which has 156 apartments, there's 1 lane of through traffic. Every package that's delivered, every person that is picked up means the traffic is backed up in back of it. Big trucks have to back all the way out to 48th Street to turn. And I myself helped a big rig that was carrying pickup trucks get out of the pickle he was in. He really could not go anywhere except back up to 43rd Street. All of the trucks that back up have a beeping sound that I can hear in my home. All of the cars that are behind the cars that are in front of Sunnyside Towers, when they honk, it's in my house. So, and there's any truck that can't make the wiggle around the impediment comes down 46th Street. So it's a real mess. I'd like it on record. Yes. Yes. I certainly do. Yes. I certainly do. Thank you, Lisa. Okay, thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Sheila.
Oh, sorry, Sheila. I love your hair. Well, what has happened is. Okay. Okay. In fact, I have a plan that I worked out with a graphic artist to show you what the recommendations are. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We have 1 more person for public comment, Anna Sanchez.
Hello, my name is Anna Sanchez, and I've been a resident of the Sunnyside since 1980. I also worked for the city of New York for 30 years, and my friend as a teacher for 50 years. And we are very, very concerned about what the city of New York is doing. It has, for 30 years for me and for 50 years for her, promised a medical health program. Promised us a medical health program. We have traditional Medicare and the Medigap. Help us with Medigap. It is the best. We love it. But now, out of the blue, the city of New York the mayor is switching and is trying to force us onto an Advantage program, Medicare Advantage program, which is very, very questionable. We are in litigation, and we are also not only in litigation, but we are fighting it on always. We are also taking the legislative process, which is Intro 1099. I originally came here to introduce you to the plight of 250,000 New York City retirees promised as a Medicare, traditional Medicare plus the Medigap. And now they are forcing us to something that will not serve my purpose. I'm here in Puerto Rico. I am in Puerto Rico 4 to 5 months of the year, and the rest of the year in Sunnyside. Do I have access to my doctors? If they put me in the Advantage program, I will not. Not all hospitals, not all doctors, except there's a lot of issues with the Medicare Advantage. So I took the opportunity to introduce you to the plight and that we need co-sponsors. That's why I really wanted to talk to Julie to find out why she has not come on board co-sponsoring Intro 1099, which will codify, health, I'm sorry if I'm over, but it will codify healthcare for 250,000 retirees so that no mayor can ever mess around with our healthcare. We're in trouble and we need help. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, I did not know the procedure before, so. Oh,
So, first of all, welcome.
Thank you.
For coming. Don't be a stranger.
thank you.
I know a lot about Advantage. My father was on the bank plan down in Maryland. He thought it was a great idea. You could get dental and vision and all these things. Then when he got sick.
When you needed, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But when he got sick,
Yeah.
he was limited to where he could go, and he wasn't going to Puerto Rico or anywhere else. He was limited to the hospital, this, that, and the other. What do you want the board to do for you?
Well, it's my first board meeting. I'm embarrassed to say I'm not really a political person. All I know is that we need the word to be spread out, to ask Julie and our representatives I have a right to know why she has not co-sponsored it. Why? I have a right to know whether I voted for her or not.
I would like to suggest
Yeah.
that you and anyone you want to bring come to the health committee. Because we have a health committee and to bring this issue up, they can work on a letter of support and maybe talk about reaching out to the other legislators.
Yeah. I don't know anything about the health committee. When do they meet? How do I find out?
There's our health committee chair.
I'd like to speak to you. I would like to. September 18th. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's okay. I could do that. Can I speak to you? Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we are going to now move to our speakers. So I do want to just acknowledge that we do have Con Edison, who was on this agenda, but we did have a cancellation from Hunters Point South Parcel E, which we've talked about already. They will come back to another meeting. That isn't happening, but we do have after Con Edison, we have Alan Swisher, the attorney for the borough president. who's going to speak a little bit about the open meeting law. But first, I'm going to turn it over to our rep from Consolidated Edison. Amazing.
Good evening, everyone. How much time do I have? Do I have 2 minutes like everyone else? Oh, good. Okay, so I could take my time. I was gonna be like, okay. All right. To all my board members and to Community Board 2, thank you for having. Today, I'm going to speak about the Energy Affordability Program. It's a very, very important program for all my board members. I hope everyone does have it in front of you. Now, just a quick thing. Well, I'm sorry, just a quick thing. On the right, on the left side of the program, on the front sheet, you have the Home Energy Assistance Program, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, Supplemental Security Income, which is not regular Social Security, it's supplemental security. We have direct vendor or utility guarantee, as well as temporary aid to needy families and safety net assistance. These programs, we work directly with HRA as well as OTDA to automatically enroll customers. So let's say you've got a heat grant in January. We do a quarterly meetup with these governmental agencies and they give us your name and we automatically put you on the Energy Affordability Program. Now, this process is not complete or perfect. If your name is wrong, if the social didn't match, things of that nature, it could cause you to not automatically get in. So when you bring this back to your communities, please, if you know anybody on the left that has any one of these programs, please let them know to check their bill and make sure they're on the Energy Affordability Program, because it's free money that they're not getting in the form of a discount. Now, on the right side, you're going to see Medicaid, federal public housing assistance, veterans pension and survivors benefit, as well as Lifeline telephone service program. These are not automatic. You must self-certify. And you could do that by going to our website at coned.com/EAP. It's very, very seamless. You could literally take pictures with your phone and upload it just like that onto our website and it will enroll you. Now, the most important part about that on the programs on the right is Medicaid. Medicaid, since it involves medical information, the government is not allowed to share that information with us. And so therefore, it doesn't automatically happen. So anybody on Medicaid automatically qualifies for this program. It's on the back of the sheet itself. There is a form that you could fill out and submit. You could mail it, you could fax it. The best way is to email it. If you go to our website at coned.com/EAP, this information, as well as the form itself, is available in Spanish. It's available in Chinese, Korean, as well as Russian. We're working on other languages even as we speak, like Urdu, as well as Creole and things of that nature, but it is coming. But if anybody is afraid of or is limited to English, please let them know. We have this available in different languages on our website. Any questions on EAP before I go on to my next topic, please?
From the board. Is this working? There it is. My name's Sheila again, and I am trying very hard not to use profane language and my feelings about how difficult it is to get people to get registered for this. My mother, I tried for 5 years to get her on this. Her electric bills were $300 a month and she's dead now. And I could not because she was on oxygen. So I'm going to make some suggestions, and I've actually said this to some of our electeds, that there be some kind of the speakers. I'm going to. My suggestions are coordination with federal. There's a way that people who need it
Mhm. So I don't know when you went through that process, but we updated this process where now 4 times a year for the programs on the left side of the sheet, it's automatically done. The information is traded with the governmental agencies and it's automatically done. Medicaid is not automatic. That is the biggest gap that we're facing when it comes to people who qualify for the energy affordability program and aren't on it because we can't get that information automatically. No, that's not regular Social Security, no. No, it's supplemental security income. Yeah, it's not. I'm sorry, yeah, but it's not. Yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, regular Social Security and disability is not a qualifying program. I do apologize. Yes. Yes. Oxygen, what program is he on? Oh, it's not regular Social Security. I apologize. Yeah.
The disability doesn't count.
No. Please. No, yes, I would be happy to explain. So the percentages change depending on what type of program that you get, like the discount itself. Like for instance, Keep Home Energy Assistance Program, it has 4 tiers. You get a tier 1 payment, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. All of that is income based. If you have tier 4, you're going to get the maximum amount of discounts. Now, the discounts also change depending on what type of customer you are. For instance, if you're just an electric customer, then it would be on your basic service charges for your electric portion. But now, if you add gas to that, let's say you have gas heating as well, your discount would be much higher than somebody who just has an electric account, because the gas portion, you would be receiving more discounts because, I mean, it's get for gas heating and stuff. Yes, so it is different. On our website, you'll see the exact discounts broken down by every tier. Yes.
Yeah, you provide the discount on the electricity and the gas provided, or on the service to get it to you. It seems that just as high as the gas electric.
Very great question. Very great question. So what he's talking about is there's 2 parts to every Con Edison bill. There's delivery charges and there's supply charges. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but the supply charges, Con Edison is not allowed to make a single penny on. We literally have to buy it and give it to you at the same price that we paid for it. It's mandated. Now, this is where those ESCOs come from. You know, like those people calling you like, hey, we could get you something off on your Con Edison bill on this. They're selling you the supply portion. Con Edison, we make our money on the delivery. So the infrastructure, getting that electricity and gas to your house, that's what we make our money on. And so to answer your question, it's on the delivery side, not the supply. And speaking of supply, it's only going to go up. So that was going to be my next topic, but please, any additional questions? It's still true. The HEAP program, the grant, it's not limitless budget. it's a first come, first serve basis, and they do have limited budgets. So yes, they do run out. But post-COVID, I have yet to hear them run out of anything because I think they expanded it.
Yeah, so, programs that qualify by state or federal, rules or jurisdictions, what have you. The one slide done.
Great question. So it was agreed upon between us, the state, and most importantly, our regulator, which is the Public Service Commission. And all of that is done during the rate cases.
We're gonna, sorry, yeah, we're just gonna move it along. Go ahead, but I think no more. Do you have any other topics? No. Thank you. Thank you. We do have all of the information from Con Ed because I think there's a lot of questions that didn't get asked and many that did. So we can follow up. Okay, next we are going to hear from the borough president's lawyer, Alan Swisher, who also happens to live in community board too. So yes. Yeah. And Alan is joining us impromptuly, if that's a word, tonight to talk about the open meeting law, because there have been a lot of questions about the law that frankly, I am not a lawyer and I would like some support to have answered. So Alan is going to do that for us tonight.
All right. Thank you, Danielle. How's everyone doing tonight? It's nice to see you all in person. So as Danielle mentioned, I am a lawyer. I do want to preface this by saying I am not your lawyer. I do work for the borough president's office. I help oversee our community board program throughout the entire borough. So it's really nice to see all of you. I think that you probably received an email from me letting you know that you've been appointed. So now you have a face to the name. All right, so open meetings law. Let me take you back to March of 2020 when the pandemic hit. At that point, the governor passed an executive order that suspended particular provisions of the open meetings law that related to in-person attendance. And that was the status quo for about 2 years. In 2022, the state legislature amended the open meetings law, two major provisions. The first I'll mention now just because it's relevant to this discussion in the history. It was a provision that allowed public bodies, which includes community boards, to meet fully remotely in the presence of an emergency order that prevented people from gathering in a public place. So the governor, for a long period until 2022, had an emergency order, and then subsequent to that, the mayor had an emergency order in connection to COVID-19. And that was the basis by which public bodies like CB2 were permitted to meet remotely. That emergency order expired in July, which is why we're in person now here today. And one of the things that I just want to emphasize is that the reason why public bodies, including community boards, are now back in person is because of the open meetings law and reverting back to the status quo that existed before COVID hit. So this is not a decision that the borough president made. It's not a decision that any particular community board made. It relates to compliance with state law. So many of you might have heard that there was also a provision that was added in 2022 to the open meetings law relating to hybrid participation in meetings. There's a lot of misconceptions about this provision. I'm not going to advise the board how to deal with this particular provision, but I am just going to summarize what the law provides, and then I'm happy to answer any questions from board members afterwards. So remote participation is permitted under very specific limited circumstances. The board would have to pass a resolution that would allow members to participate remotely under what the law describes as extraordinary circumstances. So extraordinary circumstances in the law, they provide a list of what qualifies as extraordinary circumstances. Disability under some circumstances qualifies. if there is an act of God or some sort of tragedy or a transit strike or something that would prevent people from getting to the meeting, that might also qualify as extraordinary circumstances, illness, caregiver responsibilities, et cetera, et cetera. If one of those circumstances applies to a particular member, then that member, if the board authorizes a resolution, would be permitted to participate remotely over Zoom. Now, there are some catches. The first, and this applies under all circumstances, the board still has to meet in person, and there still needs to be a quorum in person. So that means that 26 members of the board still need to attend in person, allow the public to attend in person, essentially as we're doing right now. Also, the members who participate remotely do not count for quorum purposes because you still need a quorum of 26 in person. However, they are allowed to vote and they are allowed to participate. So if for whatever reason a member were unable to attend a meeting, they still would be able to vote and participate in the same way that all of you are. That does not apply to members who qualify under disability, however. So members who are disabled and unable to attend the meeting because of that disability would count for quorum. So there's a little bit of a wrinkle with that. I do want to emphasize, and I'm not making any sort of, value statement or policy judgment or anything like that, that a desire not to attend or that it's not convenient to attend. I have 2 young kids at home. It probably would be easier for me to be participating through Zoom. I empathize, I understand. And again, was not the borough president's decision. This is a state law issue. So in-person participation is the expectation. It is the status quo. Okay, thank you. But the board can consider pass a resolution and have remote participation under the scope of what the open meetings law provides. If the board does provide for remote participation for some members, the public also needs to be able to participate remotely in the same manner, meaning that, during the public comment period, they can speak on Zoom, they can view a live recording or a live stream of the proceedings at the meeting. So that's the overview. I do understand from Danielle that there's been a lot of questions and a lot of frustration about this. I sit on various boards representing the borough president. It's a frustration that I share. And I do know that there's been some advocacy on this issue behind the scenes. I also want to mention that this particular remote participation provision is expiring, or is set to expire at least next year. So if the board feels that the legislature might consider other options, again, not recommending, I'm not your lawyer, not saying one way or the other. This is going to be something that is going to be considered next year by the state legislature. So there is potentially some space there to advocate on those terms. So if it's all right with Danielle, I'm happy to answer any questions. Yes, hi.
Alan, I read your email to Danielle, and it's just one area of question. It's clear as far as the community board is concerned, but it's not quite as clear as far as the committee. Right. A committee of this community board makes a recommendation to the community board. So if, for instance, I have the city services committee, we meet on liquor licenses. Could you meet remotely, since all we're doing is making a recommendation and not technically taking a vote?
It's unclear. I'll say yes and no. So let me give a little context. Committees of a public body, so a committee of the community board, is under the open meetings law also a public body. So all the provisions of the open meetings law also applies to the committee. So in person for committees. However, there have been some boards across the borough, and I'm happy to discuss this offline, that have explored alternative arrangements for some committee meetings, particularly those where votes are not occurring. So for instance, having an information session where there isn't a vote taken, the committee might take a vote perhaps before the full board meeting. Now that's an untested theory. The Committee on Open Government hasn't, as far as I'm aware, issued any sort of advisory opinions on that. I also don't believe any courts have weighed in on that issue. So I certainly understand the appeal of having particularly committee meetings remote. I will say that some boards have pushed that issue a little bit as a bit of a test case. And I'm happy to discuss the pros and cons with the board if you do decide to go down that avenue.
But just to clarify, are you saying that whether we vote or not, for a committee to meet, the quorum still have to be in person?
Technically, yes. Particularly at this point. Yeah, technically, yes. And we can probably discuss that a little bit further.
So I just do want to interject here that we are going to discuss it further because we are going to have a task force on hybrid and all the issues around the open meeting law. So some members of the board are going to be talking with you.
Okay, wonderful.
That in the business card.
Yes, Laura. Yeah, I fully understand that. And again, just the messenger tonight. So I think that one of the challenges, just speaking from my perspective, was that the board's ability to meet remotely was on a month-to-month basis because the emergency order that the mayor issued was renewed month to month. And then, suddenly in July, I believe, June, late June.
We had our meeting remotely for board.
Right.
And I had to go to the public for a board meeting.
Exactly. So that was one of the challenges where it made it difficult for the board to plan because there was no guarantee that the next month that there would be that continuing emergency order. But I certainly understand and empathize and also share some of your frustrations with that. And certainly I think that's something that the task force is going to consider. Yes.
The board has to pass the resolution. Is that sort of like broadly perspective, or is that like per person?
No, it's a resolution generally about the procedures. Now, when it comes to particular people, you can describe categories that would qualify someone to participate remotely. The board can define what they believe to be extraordinary circumstances within the meaning of the law. When it comes to particular individuals, that would likely, let's say that you have a childcare issue that happens on the day of, you would likely inform the board office and then you would be able to participate remotely at that point. That's how some of the other boards are approaching this. Right. So that's a very good question. And I can say that is that's an issue that other boards, not just community boards, but other public bodies have grappled with. I certainly I wouldn't recommend putting anyone in the position to have to adjudicate that. So it might end up being essentially an honor system, like we're all, as community board members, we're all public servants. We all have an obligation to fulfill those duties. So hopefully we can all trust each other to, be honest with if there is a particular reason why you can't attend a meeting. However, with the in-person quorum requirements, there might be some borderline cases where someone might still need to come in. So it is a good question. And I think something that needs to be sorted out. That's something that could be spelled out in the resolution. And actually, I do have a set of handouts here prepared by the Committee on Open Government that provides a sample resolution that can be adapted to the board's needs.
We do.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Right. And that's why I think the close involvement of Debbie in the office is going to be important to figure out what the technological hurdles are going to be. Other boards have accomplished this, right? And sometimes it's a question of money, other times it's a question of logistics. But, you know, if folks work together to overcome those, I think it's feasible. There are some requirements in the law about the ability of the public to view, like, what are they seeing whenever they're viewing a live stream of the meeting. But other than that, it's kind of, you know, I don't want to describe it as an unfunded mandate, but because it's not a mandate, it is optional to the board, but it does put the boards in difficult spots to figure out the logistics. Yeah. Hi, Sheila. Yep. The open meetings law? No, that's a state law. It applies to every public body in New York that fulfills. Exactly, yeah. So the state law would supersede. Potentially, if there's, I'd have to look at your bylaws again to see whether there's some provision contrary to what the resolution would be. But I'd have to look at the bylaws in particular. Not necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about the task force, but what I've asked so let's just say it. I've asked Maury to lead the task force. He's done a lot of thinking in this area when he was chair. And what I've asked him to do is to look at a way to do this that, you know, works within the state law, but also within our bylaws, and also makes a system so that, like, I am not judging whether you can be, you know, and because that's a lot of responsibility that I don't really.
Sure. I imagine there likely would be a hearing on this before, or public comment before any resolution would be passed.
Public meetings with. Yeah. But yes, the goal is not to make this something that is illegal for us to do. The goal is to make it something legal for us to do. And we'll work. We're not. Yeah. So. But this is state law, and I believe, but Alan, you correct me if I'm wrong, that state law supersedes.
Yes. So I'm more than happy to kind of help navigate how all those things interact. Yes. Right. So the sample, so in the law and in the sample resolution, they have a non-exhaustive list, but the provisions it needs to be actually, I can tell you the precise language here. Including disability, illness, caregiving responsibilities, or any other significant or unexpected factor or event which precludes the member's physical attendance at such meeting. The board does have the discretion to define what they interpret that last provision to mean, that sudden and unexpected or significant and unexpected factor or event. So you do have some flexibility to define that and figure out what works best for CB2. They do provide a definition of disability in the law. I believe that they tie it, they don't define like a particular condition or a particular disability, but rather if it interferes with your ability to attend the meeting in person. Yes. It does, yes.
And yes, the resolution we put forward can be whatever we want it to be. But yes, I've asked for a resolution that is about committees as well.
Yes. Hi, Lisa.
Like, if you apply to be on a community board, and one of the obligations is that you attend a meeting, if you receive and where you might get questions to the application. Like you said, are you willing to attend in the meeting?
I believe we have that question on the application. We do have that question already. So great minds think alike.
Sad that when you are looking for a job right now, as I did last year, I had to answer that question, like, was I willing to go in 100%?
Stephen.
It's something you obviously can't answer off the top of your head, but you have to consider. I seem to recollect that a person with disabilities cannot be asked what their disability is.
Mhm.
Which means that as long as that phrase stays in the resolution, in the law, and it stays in the resolution, we cannot even question what the disability is. Is that correct?
That is a potential issue with this resolution. Yes. Are there any more questions from board members?
Anybody here about it?
Yeah, Laura. There, in order for a hybrid meeting to occur, there needs to be a resolution. So I can't really speak to the timing of it, but there would need to be a resolution passed prior to a meeting held in hybrid.
We're not gonna have a resolution tonight. We need to consider this very carefully and write a resolution that we can hold and doesn't break the law. So it's not going to happen tonight. But we do have some ideas and we'll talk about that. It's not.
The model one, it's still, there's still sort of particular provisions that need to be considered by, yeah, unfortunately, right. So I certainly empathize and understand the confusion and the frustration around this. You know, we got used to conducting business and we showed that we could conduct business in a particular way over the past few years. So hopefully, I'll say this on the personal level, hopefully the legislature considers this again and perhaps comes to a different conclusion. Yes. Tonight, any board members who are watching a live stream, because there is not a resolution passed by the board, are counted as absent. Now, whether that's an excused absence or an unexcused absence or something that the borough president would consider as a knock against, I don't think that anyone has to worry about that at this point. But once the board has the opportunity to consider this, pass a resolution, then at that point, folks on the live stream may have some more flexibility moving forward. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you very much, Alan. We're very glad that you are in the CB2 district. I do have copies of what Alan brought for everybody who wants them. We'll put them on the table so you can take one. Okay, we are moving to the business portion of the meeting and we will start with attendance and Debbie will do attendance tonight. You want the mic? I have. Okay.
Harold absent, Nellie Ashbar, absent, Anatole Asherov, absent, John Bahia, absent, Anne Brankowski. She's here. She's here. Felicia Paton, absent. Nicholas Berkowitz. Here. Thank you. Sandra Begishka, absent. Pat Bloomfield. Absent. Danielle Bracker. Present. Thank you. Carlos Castel. Thank you. Tanya Chavis. Osmond Chowdhury. Thank you. Steve Cooper.
Present.
Thank you. Kelly Craig. Warren Davis, absent. Excused. Lisa Della. Here. Thank you. Maura Gallinoy. Samit Kabir, absent, excused. Dr. Rosamond Gianosis. absent. Camille Glenn. Here. Thank you. Ted Whitmer. Here. Mohammed Hossein. Mohammed, absent. Christine Hunter. Thank you. Leland Kindell. Thank you. Madrona Khan here. Nice to see you. Diana Ketchler. Thank you. Prameen Kumar. Thank you. Shimachang Lama. Thank you. Sheila Lewandowski. Benjamin Lucas, absent. Patrick Martinez. Thank you. Thomas Matusas, we're sorry for his loss in his family, he's excused. Eric Knobber. Thank you, Eric. Nishan An, absent. Riley Owens, absent. Amaya Saab, thank you. Roberta Saldana, excused. Laura Shepherd, absent. Everybody. So you're absent? For the record, we're here for them. Brian Smith. Brian Smith. Absent. Caroline Spitzer. Thank you. Lauren Springer. Thank you. Bochat Tashi. Absent. Danilo Zambis. Thank you. Mary Torres. Thank you. Leticia Vasquez. Thank you. Kelsey, Kelsey, are you here? Absent. We have a quorum.
Just for the record, Laura Shepherd is here, of the parliamentarian, person that sits here and answers to the question. If they answer yup, as someone did, or as she did, is still present. Please, Robert.
Said that louder.
I did.
So she's not present.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, okay. We still have a quorum either way.
Do we, approval of minutes? The approval of minutes? Approval of minutes is next, okay. Sorry, I know.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so next we're gonna move to the approval of the June, it's the June minutes, sorry. Yeah, okay,
You have a motion to approve.
do we have a motion to approve? Okay. Okay, hello. Second? Sheila,
A second.
you doing this?
You do it? We don't need a roll call. Oh, yeah. I don't need a roll call. Just need a show of hands, please. We're approving the minutes.
Show of hands,
Motion on the table.
motion passes.
You're abstaining? You are present.
Right, I got it.
Okay, got it. So it's two no's and the rest is.
Two
Mary?
abstains.
Okay.
Yep, and Maury was there.
Maury. Are you voting to approve? Okay, great.
Okay,
Maury and Steve. Okay, great.
great.
Motion carried. Okay. I'm on the president's report.
I'm so
Attention for not being.
Okay, so first of all, welcome, everyone. I hope everyone had a great summer. Today was the first day back to school. I think if you were out in the community board district today, you saw a lot of parents taking kids to school, which was nice to know that we're back. So the main thing I want to talk about is what we just talked about, which is the open meeting law and a task force. So I do want to be very clear, just following up to what Alan said, that the open meeting law is state law. It is not something that I decided or Debbie decided or the borough president decided. And it is important that we try to follow the law. And what I have asked from Maury, because I know that he spent a lot of time on this issue a year ago when we thought we were going back then and did not. I've asked him to lead a task force within Community Board 2 to do three things. One is to get us a resolution that allows us to have hybrid meetings that is within the law, within our bylaws. and makes there not be a burden on like Debbie or I to judge why people might be absent or if that is an okay reason. I wanted, there's other boards. I think there's one particularly in Manhattan that we like some of their language that kind of lays out the reasons that you can join from a hybrid meeting and the number of times you can do that, et cetera. So Maury's going to look at that. That's one. Two, he's going to put on paper in a resolution form what we can do for committee meetings. As you heard from Alan, it's complicated, but we're going to try to find a solution to that kind of keeps it hybrid or makes it Zoom or makes it a way that we can work, but still open to the public. And then finally, if Maury chooses, if the task force chooses to look at ways that we can advocate our state electeds, whom we have good relationships with, to change the law to make it work for community boards, knowing that the law doesn't just cover community boards, it also covers our state legislature, our city council, and other legislative bodies. And we have to think about what we're actually advocating for and what that means bigger picture. So those are the three areas I've asked him to explore. Maury has already put some names together of people he'd like to join the task force, but if you are interested in joining, reach out to the office and the office will put you in touch with Maury and more to come from that. Maury, do you want to say a few words? Okay, good. Thank you. And I do just want to reiterate how appreciative I am for you to take this on. So, because we've had a lot of conversations about this and I know you have a very good perspective and I appreciate it. Okay, that said, the one other thing I want to tell you is that there is a borough board meeting that I will attend on Monday, September 18th. There is no agenda for this meeting yet, so I don't know I don't know what we'll talk about, or I would share with you, but I will report back when we have our next meeting in October. I also want to wish everyone who celebrates a happy Jewish New Year and a good an easy fast for Yom Kippur. And that is my report. And I'm going to turn it to Debbie. Oh, I am so sorry. I forgot something. This is a bittersweet one. So I had a conversation with Lisa Deller yesterday, and Lisa is going to step down as chair of the Land Use Committee. But she's going to remain on the Land Use Committee. But the good news is that Christine is going to become the chair, the full chair. And we're going to continue to uphold the values that we have on this community board of building community. And, making sure we're building housing in the right way, where we support a community. So Lisa to me is the person who I knew from the board before I was even on the board. So it's sort of sad for me, but I'm actually really thrilled because Christine is going to do an amazing job and already is as co-chair. So I just wanted to make that known publicly, and yes, for me. Yeah. No, I didn't expect to. Did we ever get a response from Assembly Member Ardea? We did not get a response. He doesn't address me, so that's all I got. Oh, Kenny. Yes.
You're leaving it in good hands.
Yes. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, everybody.
Well, that's a hard act to follow. But you're amazing, and thank you, Lisa. So just a few housekeeping rules. I don't have a lot, but I have some. Remember, all meeting and agency correspondence must go through the board office to be official and on the record. So I want to just make sure that that happens. And committee chairs, please try to get your agendas in at least 7 days before your meeting, so it could be posted and advertised appropriately. Committee attendance records are very important to the Borough President's office, as they are submitted to Borough Hall. Everyone must participate and attend at least one committee meeting a month besides the board meeting. So please, if you can't make a meeting or you're unavailable, email the board office, call us, just so we have the record for the records. We have to keep our records impeccable. We have done pretty good on our audits from the controller's office in the city of New York, so we want to keep them perfect and good and keep our good standing. So, and that's all because you're all amazing and keep in touch. So I want to thank you all for doing that over the years and making sure that we continue to go forward. If you have complaints, rat complaints, sidewalk, potholes, streetlights, please make sure we know about it. We try to track them. Some of them from DOT end up as a capital project because they fill the pothole and it's really a bigger project and problems, and the DEP has to be involved. So we want to make sure that we can get those fixed. Quality of life issues are still very, very important. And we want to make sure that we continue to address them as much as possible. I want to thank the Engagement and Inclusion Committee, our chair, Daniel Brecker, and Maury as well, for that wonderful summer social at Windmill Park during the summer. You guys did a great job and provided, refreshments, and everybody got to meet and greet, and it was very nice. We all attended National Night Out over the summer in August. I want to thank the 108th Precinct, Diane Ballack, the president, as well as our partners at the 108th for their hard work on this annual endeavor. Danielle was there, I was there, Mary Ann. We gave out a lot of swag and it was well received. We saw some of our board members there, but most important, we also want to thank Sheila Lewandowski, who was honored, who did such a great job. And we really appreciate it. I'm saying this publicly to remember, I have to talk to you about Andrews Park. Parks Department has me and we need to have a quick conversation on that. So I just wanted to, I forgot. That's basically capital and expense. I want to thank Kat Bloomfield. She's been working very hard with the committee to do a good job and pull it together. So I want to say thank you because she is doing a good job. We have more to go. This month I start borough consultations. They're a long process. We don't always get the answers, but we're doing our best. Parks will have a full agenda. They keep moving our consultation meeting. I actually gave Danielle a date. I think it was this morning or yesterday, and they changed it again. So it's been a moving target with that, but we'll get that on the books and get that done. None of the agencies have responded to our letters. Christine, your suggestion, we sent out all those letters and haven't gotten responses yet, but we send them again and we will keep sending them until we get answers. So we sent letters from the Capital and Expense Budget Committee to follow up on our budget request to try to get better and more efficient answers. And it was a great idea by Christine. So we did that and we have to just keep following up, and they're busy with consultations, et cetera, but we will be annoying and knock at that door. So I wanted to mention that. And you always ask, so we tell you, over the summer from June to date, we have 73 complaints. Our top complaints were sanitation, garbage, Department of Transportation, and sanitation and PD.
and a lot of enforcement, street blocking and all kinds of stuff like that. So want to mention that, wishing all the kids a great new school year as they started today like we did. So, and happy holidays for all who celebrate Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur easy fast. So anybody have any questions? Okay, great. Thank you. Teal? I don't think she's here.
Teal? Oh, you're here. Oh, there you are. Okay. So next is Teal from City Planning.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Okay, great. So my name is Teal from City Planning, and tonight I'm actually going to introduce another planner who's joined our Queens team, and she's going to be providing some updates tonight. This is Bree Mejia, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Bree Mejia. Happy to be here and look forward to working together. So on some updates that we have now for applications coming through. We currently have an application for 2402 49th Avenue DEP site selection and acquisition. This is a public application for DEP to relocate laboratory facilities to Long Island City. This will certify on Monday, September 11th. Thereafter, they will be able to present this project to the community board. And then afterwards, you all will be able to host a public meeting on this. As well, I'd like to update you on some important dates now that the summer is over. We do have the community board's needs and budget requests. This needs to be submitted by October 31st. And so I'm happy to connect you with any planning support that you might need from DCP. If you have any questions, I can connect you with them as well. We also have some citywide amendments with the City of Yes, specifically the zoning for economic opportunity. This is expected to refer on October 2nd. And so as a reminder, the next public information session will take place virtually on Tuesday, September 12th at 7 p.m. And it's expected to run until about 8:30 p.m. So if you have any questions or concerns regarding economic opportunity, please make sure to attend this information session. I can also connect you with the email address and any other resources that you need for this specific public information. And I look forward to coming now to these in-person meetings and getting to know you all a little bit more. Thank you. My name again is Bree. Thank you. Yes, hello. You want to help me out, Teal? Thank you.
So this is a HPD-led effort, so we're kind of more on the informational side of things and like learning from HPD, but the best thing you can do is reach out to HPD and go to their community engagement events when the time comes. I know they're actively, planning out public events to get input, so that process is coming.
I have a question about 24 hours, that's the week, right?
Yes.
That's do they want to be paid for the whole building?
Do you want to answer?
Yeah, they want to lease space on the 5th and the 6th floor of that building. 49th Avenue. It's 2402 49th Avenue. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And just before I step down, I just want to let you all know that Bree and I will both be here from city planning at the different meetings. And so you're welcome to reach out to either of us, and Debbie and Lisa and Danielle, they have our contact info. So please feel free to ask them if you have questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both and welcome. Okay, so we don't need to do committee reports. We've decided that everybody can read the minutes unless there is something someone really wants to say about a committee meeting. I think we want to talk, I think, Christine, you want to talk about the land use meeting that's on the hearing that's on the 27th? You want me to talk about it?
Yes. So one thing is the land use.
Yeah, come on.
Or hand it to the microphone.
I can hand this to you, but I see it's heavy. Yeah, that mic is.
I've never been on this side of the.
Get used to it.
The land use meeting this month is being moved from the 20th, which would be the typical third Wednesday, to the 27th. And it will include a public hearing about the expansion of the bid. And we are doing this in order to accommodate the bid schedule for public approval and getting into ULURP. But
city bid.
Yeah, the Long Island City bid and the expansion that was referred to before by Laura, the director. So, I mean, this is something that's, I think, of interest to a lot of people, and this is an opportunity for some of the businesses to come and express their feelings, but it's also an opportunity for members. So I just want people to be aware it will be an in-person meeting. We haven't yet finalized the location. That's, oh, it will, it doesn't confirm.
We believe it.
We think it will be here. Yes. You mean that the location?
Yes.
I think that's a great suggestion. I think it's a challenge in terms of a meeting place, but you know, we can, if you have a suggestion of a place that would work, that might accommodate us.
Or if we could get the law schools to give us the auditorium again.
It becomes a security issue, then that's why we're unable to use community. They need to know names and who's coming in. So it's okay for the board members, but not okay for opening to the public.
And this has to be a public meeting.
Yeah, no,
So.
So we can, I mean, Sheila, do you have any ideas? Because every idea I come up with is not doable. And I think Steve has an idea as well. So let's see what we can do.
Consider more.
We just have to get the announcement out to everybody about where it is. That's
Okay,
the important thing.
Okay.
all right. Okay, thank you.
Christine. Thank you, Christine. We're not doing committee reports, right? That's what it says. Okay. We weren't planning to do committee reports this early. If anybody from a committee chair has anything to say, I welcome you, but the meeting, Sheila, do you want to come up?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I will just note that the only committee meeting we've had in September is the Transportation Committee. So, yeah.
Hey, everybody, Sheila, if you didn't already get that, I'm not exactly quiet. So the minutes are there for anybody to read, but there really only are some stuff that we went over with DOT. But one of the things that's not in there is the Transportation Committee and this board sent a letter to the New York State Department of Transportation advocating for certain changes in the BQE overpass and Laurel Hill Boulevard. And the response that we got was a letter. It was very detailed, but it didn't actually take any of our recommendations into account, and pretty much stated how the Laurel Hill part underneath was not part of the New York State DOT jurisdiction. And so that letter if it isn't already, we'll be on the website, but I would love to connect with some of our state representatives with the community board to advocate for greater consideration of greening possibilities, safer infrastructure, and to treat the part under the BQE more like the highway that it is being used as, and even the signage treats it like a highway. It is treated like an extension of the highway and not, the way people use it. So that was an important thing I wanted to share. So look for that letter online. You can look at what we sent and what we got back, because that was not discussed in the meeting because we didn't have anybody representing the state at the meeting. And then we have a new point person from DOT, Joe Petty. So their information will be online as well, because that's public information. So thank you.
Sure.
Oh, yes.
One other thing, following up on Dorothy's question.
Mhm.
I think if a request is made or as a discussion, then a whole trip from what do you do to or maybe and we find out that I think evaluate
yeah.
You have to be done, it should be done.
Okay, I mean, that's why, yeah, I'll take that. We should discuss it back at committee. DOT did promise to be open to,
They promised to come back and look at it.
they did. And so I do think that it is on us to be calling on them to work with us to come back and look at things. Sometimes we get changes we didn't even know about. And the other thing that did come up at committee, if I may switch gears for a second, I think it's really important, is with the increase in, bike lanes and bike shares and car shares. And I bike, I drive, I do all of this. So I'm not here advocating for one thing or the other. But the decrease in parking, the city, there doesn't seem to be a willpower to decrease the amount of placard parking. And so it's kind of a contradiction by the city. And so just putting it out there that there's a discussion to be had around, we can't have both. So Lisa. I agree. And the thing to clarify is congestion pricing is it's a term that applies to everything from meters to the toll plan that was put forward. So having a real conversation with the state and the city on what are some of the many different congestion pricing possibilities and, some of the impacts and things, residential parking permits, which has come up in this board before and in the transportation committee, is a form of congestion pricing. So thank you for that. That's definitely something, Debbie, can we put that on? Can you help me remember when we meet next week to catch up on everything that I've let go of? Thank you. Anybody else? Yes. Thank you. Well, state DOT that responded. And so they're really pointing more to the city. So, I mean, there's just stuff to dig in there, and we just got the reply. We didn't discuss it at the committee meeting, so I didn't want to leave it without having put it out there for people to take a look at. You can read it, give your feedback to the office so that we can bring it to the committee and dig into it a little bit further. Thank you. Maureen.
Yes. Do you have any update on state DOT on the K Bridge?
No.
Okay.
The question was, if people didn't hear, there is a push to get the park on the Queen side, the beautiful park they got on the Brooklyn side, the park on the Queen side under the K Bridge, as we call Kosciuszko. I can say it because this is my heritage. We haven't got an answer on the progress on that, and we've been pushing for it. That was moving along, but we didn't get a formal update. Yeah.
Okay, I had heard September, but okay.
Originally it was,
Okay.
And it is September.
It is.
Anybody else? Okay, thank you. Thanks for the opportunity to update.
Thanks, Sheila. Okay, that is the meeting tonight, unless anybody has a question or comment or a motion to adjourn. I didn't make the motion. Christine made the motion. You seconded the motion. Okay, we are adjourned. Wow.